Well, real quick, I just want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for ever, stepping foot outside the home, for touching grass, whatever you want to call it. Sorry for just being outside. I mean, seriously, I can be judged for just being outside. I can go to a D&D game and there's a woman there who just looks at me like I'm a complete monster when I'm just trying to ignore her. She just looks at me and her eyes fill with fear. It's like I don't even have to say anything to her. She just she just looks at me like I'm a complete monster because of how ugly I am or something. I don't know. She just looks at me like I'm a complete monster. I don't, her and her significant other had to go take care of his brother because of an accident. I think that's what happened. But anyway, haven't seen her since. But yeah, I would try to ignore her and she would just look at me like I was a complete monster. I worked at Burger King once, fast food, whatever. Say what you will about the job. I got money, it was a paycheck. You don't have access to those training videos, but in one of them, it actually said that if you're at the door, you're supposed to open the door for customers, right? That's just a professional thing. Even though it's fast food, there is a standard of conduct. Now, whether or not employees actually adhere to that standard per the training videos is another matter. That's another thing, another matter. But there is, a code of conduct, etc., that's in the training videos. And in one of the videos, it did explicitly say that if you are near the door when a customer is either entering the building or exiting the building, you are to take a moment, stop what you're doing, and open the door for them. Regardless of who it is, age, gender, none of that matters. If they're a customer, you open the door for them. Just be polite. Just a little bit of extra service. Well, I was going into my work before my shift started, and I was about to, go in the building, and I'm in uniform, full uniform, hat and everything, hat, shirt, pants, everything indicated I worked at that Burger King, or at least worked for Burger King, and I'm entering Burger King. I open the door for a customer who just happens to be a woman, just happened. That's just look of the draw, I guess. And I just opened it for her and said, "Here you go," smiled. Again, I'm wearing the full uniform, indicating I work for Burger King. She proceeded to complain to my manager that I was creepy for opening the door and smiling and saying, "Here you go." I should complain to the manager that I'm creepy. There's another time I was at Science Central for a convention, right? It was publicly announced on the radio, so everyone, people that are paying attention knew. I got there 2 hours early, right? Because I didn't know what parking was going to be like. I don't know if you guys have gone to conventions, but there are times where at some conventions you go there 3 or 4 hours early and you still have trouble finding parking. That's how big of a deal they are at times. I didn't know what this one would be like because I've never been to it before, so I got there really early. And all I'm doing is standing there, not doing anything but standing. And security questioned me. This female security officer questioned me 3 times as to why I was there. If I was there for a convention. It's like, I'm in costume, waiting outside a business that has on the radio, advertised that they're having a convention. I'm pretty sure I'm here for the convention. I said that the last 2 times he asked me. Okay? So you think, okay, maybe it's because I'm here when no one else is. Okay, I'll give you that. And then other people showed up. My phone was dead, so I tried talking to someone, but I realized he didn't want anything to talk to me. Didn't want to talk to me, so it's like, okay, I'll just stand here by myself, just wait. And then I think it was that same female security guard singled me out of the crowd Twice, like 2 more times she asked me. Twice she singled me out of a crowd of people, some of them also in costume. She singled me out twice out of that crowd when I was just standing there. Not talking to anyone, just standing. What the heck? If I go to a convention every time, if I just look around like this and I don't even stare, I just like make passing glance and make eye contact because I'm like looking around. There's always at least one woman that gets creeped out, freaks out, just like, oh God, look on her face whenever I do that. I don't even have to stare. I just like, ooh. Like, I'm just like this camera, that brief moment of eye contact. She freaks out. She gets frightened, like, oh my God, what is that thing? Every convention. So, I've honestly never been to a single convention in my life that I didn't feel worse leaving than when I got there. Because of that kind of thing. I don't want to go to a convention ever again. It sucks. You know what? The only way I can actually be accepted when I go out in public usually, well, there are 2 ways. I have recently cut my hair, lost, according to a more accurate scale, about 70 pounds. So I had to lose 70 pounds, cut my hair, start wearing business casual instead of casual, because if I wear casual, I'm creepy. It's either I do all that, like lose 70 pounds, cut my hair, wear better clothes that are basically business casual because I can't wear casual, or I have to wear a chicken mascot head around town. That's the only way I can be accepted. The only way people feel like I'm not a threat to them, unless they have, a fear of mascots and masks, then it's whatever. Then they have a phobia and they're afraid of me then. So, that happens. I always take off my mask because, that it's a phobia. But I will just, like, the only way I'm accepted in society is if I completely hide my head. I mean, I've, like, worn a surgical mask before at a convention. That didn't stop it. There was still a woman that I'm just like this with, make a fraction of a second of eye contact, and it was a fraction. She gets freaked out. The only way I can even at a convention, I mean, look at me. I'm not the most attractive guy, and you would think, okay, there are other not so attractive guys at conventions. Everyone knows there's a fat, ugly guy goes to a convention, right? But if I make a split second of eye contact, it's like, oh my God. Seriously, even one of those surgical masks that I wear for the thing that's going around the bug, even one of those is not good enough to keep women from being creeped out by me. Seriously, it just sucks. Like, I mean, the only way I can be accepted at a convention, really, and accepted when I go outside in public, is if I hide my entire head. Not just my face, my entire head. I dress up in that chicken mascot head, and then people think I'm a furry. That's the only way I can be accepted in society, is to completely hide my head and have people think I'm a furry. Seriously. Even at conventions. Even at conventions where it's supposed to be everyone's welcome, as long as you stick to yourself and respectful. Oh no, you don't have to be respectful to me. The only way you'll accept me is if I hide my entire head. I never want to go to a convention again. Like, I'm starting to never want to go outside again. I kind of don't want to ever go outside again. I'm really thinking about trying to get in a job that completely keeps me online, so I never have to leave my apartment again. That's about the point I'm at. I pretty much just want to find a way to never leave my apartment again. You might think, live with your parents. Well, my parents are just... My mother's incredibly toxic. She's trying to get me to side with her against my father. She's verbally abusive to my father. She's verbally abusive and controlling to me. Also, I just want to try to find a way to never have to leave my apartment. Except if the fire alarm goes off, because, that's lease agreement, but I want to try to find a way to never leave my apartment. That's where I'm at right now. Okay, I just want to add this as a little quick addition to what I was saying. I forgot to say this. Do you know how long, according to studies, well, I should say a study, by an incredibly, a study done by an incredibly recognized experimental psychologist, teaches and everything. He's doctorate. He's really very well respected in the field. His study found is the average time for someone to determine whether or not someone's creepy. 43 milliseconds on average. 0.043 seconds is the average time it takes upon looking on someone to determine whether or not they're creepy.